Welcome to Super Chevy Brothers Podcast. This is episode 102, the first episode in a long time. This is your host, Shavar, joined by the other host, Mom. Uh,
It's Mom.
it's Mom.
That's the best music.
What is
The intro music. I hear it in my sleep sometimes. I do.
Cool. We've been gone for a while. Mom went on vacation, and I was supposed to go on vacation, and then Veronica got sick, so we didn't go on vacation.
But you
So
just got back from a vacation. Like it's been that long.
Depends on what you define as vacation.
Okay, never mind.
Yeah, but here we are, episode 102. Lots of stuff to talk about this time. There was Gamescom, which happened last week. We had the PlayStation State of Play, which happened yesterday afternoon. So, quite a bit to talk about. But first, fan favorite, Mom's movie.
Oh, I have to do a movie?
Oh, God.
Okay. Back it up.
This is Mom's Movie Corner, starring Mom.
Okay, so it sounds like there's no movie. Did you not watch anything over the past 3 weeks?
No, I've been on vacation and then I got a little sick. But I did watch Game of Thrones.
That's not a movie.
Prequel.
This is for movies. What do you think of Game of Thrones?
The prequel.
The House of Dragons.
Dragon Lady, yeah.
What do you think so far? Have you watched all the episodes so far? Or
I think I have. It stopped, so I didn't see any more coming up.
Okay.
I am enjoying it. I like the story, I like that they're telling the story and it's entertaining. I didn't see what someone said there's going to be like a Red Room scene. Remember that? The Red King, Red Room.
Yeah.
I don't know, one of those. How did that's happened? I mean,
So you spoiling it for everybody else?
I'm sorry. It must be coming.
Then why would you say that?
Because
I don't know that.
I was waiting for this great big.
But why would I want to know that?
I wanted to know. When I read about it, I'm like, oh, I want to see this dramatic thing.
But why would you tell me? I don't want to know. Most people don't want to know.
Then what?
You already told me.
Tell me what? There isn't one. There's nothing to be afraid that you've missed.
What are you talking about?
I'm just saying.
Saying what?
It's
Tell
a
me.
nice
That's what I'm asking
story.
you.
How's that? It's a nice story. That's it.
All right, so Mom is not prepared for movies today.
Oh. When have I seen a movie?
I don't know. That's your thing. It's a movie.
I've seen a lot of Nicolas Cage movies on Hulu, but I don't think anybody wants to know about that.
Okay.
There was a pretty good one, though, but I don't think they want to know about that. So we're going to postpone that till next time because I was too busy studying for this program. You had like 27 topics.
There are not 27 topics.
Take the movie music out. Do the...
Well, that was that. That was for Game of Thrones. And then proceeded to...
This is Mom's Movie Corner, starring Mom.
I probably should have followed up Pitney Swopes. Pitney Swopes?
You don't need to follow up. That was like 2 months ago.
Okay.
What would you need to follow up on?
Because that's the kind of movie that gives you like nightmares and you have to kind of think
Have
about
you had
it.
Putney Swope nightmares?
Yeah, I have.
Okay.
But let's move on.
Okay, so last week was Gamescom. And during Gamescom, we had lots of new games, of course. Anything you saw that was interesting to you at Gamescom? You studied up, you read up on the new stuff they showed.
Is that the play?
No, that the Gamescom was the stuff with the new games, like the Pinocchio inspired game or the
I have to find that. So many. I'm sorry. Not the multiverse patch.
no, but you know what? Let's just go down the list, okay?
Okay, if you're gonna go down the list, start at the bottom. My notes start from
All right.
the bottom.
What do you
up.
have? What do you have in your notes, Mom?
My first note is about someone selling their collection, $1 million collection.
All right. So the $1 million collection of every console ever released. Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah, that's pretty fascinating.
Uh,
And how did they?
Do you think it's worth $1 million?
Of course, I don't. You know, I don't. But I mean, just for history's sake and collectibles' sake, it might well be worth more than that. This is like a guy or girl based in France, but I venture to say it's a guy. So over the last 50 years, they've been collecting consoles. That's a lot of consoles. Trust me, with what they cost, it's probably worth at least $1 million.
Well, it's €1 million, not dollars. Well, that's the same these days. The dollar's
Yeah,
strong.
about 984,000. Ah,
Yeah, dollar's pretty strong now. So kind of the same. I think it's cool. I don't know if you're gonna actually sell it. Who's gonna who's? I mean, there are people who can buy it for $1 million.
no
for
one's
sure.
gonna buy the whole collection.
I think somebody would.
They would, but I don't think they will. I think they're gonna have to piece it out.
No, that's part. That's why it's $1 million.
Oh, he's only gonna sell it if it's the
There's no
entire
reason
collection?
it wouldn't be worth $1 million if it wasn't all together. It's
Worth
like
more. if you
how much?
broke it up.
How much are the single pieces of a puzzle worth? Nothing. It's cardboard and paint.
This is not a puzzle,
It's the
child.
same thing, but that's the point. It's sold together worth $1 million. Outside of that, it's worthless. How does that not make sense to you?
It makes sense what you're saying, but that doesn't mean that they won't sell it. If it doesn't
I don't
sell.
think they will sell it.
So if no one buys the entire thing, you think it's just gonna go, okay, I'll take it home.
somebody will buy the entire thing. I think somebody will.
Or a museum.
Maybe, but museums don't like spending millions of dollars. Somebody might buy it and
Donate, yeah.
Yeah, museums are gonna spend the
But
money.
I thought it was pretty fascinating. That's pretty good. They said the person that wrote that said they had seen things in there they'd never seen before. That's pretty good.
Yeah, be careful though. This website Kotaku's got some of the worst writers like in the history of
But
journalism. Sometimes when they just be careful.
so they just made it up now.
Sometimes, yeah, but they're a good place to go for games. I if I had $1 million to buy it, I wouldn't. What would you do with all of it? It's just collecting it. It's not. Yeah. I say that, but I also have a PlayStation 4 that has a game that nobody can download anymore, and probably I'm just holding on to it till it's worth like $500,000. I'm thinking $500,000. All right, what else did you study? Because I don't know where you're at here.
I tell you, go from the bottom.
Don't. There's no bottom on my end. So
Now, AI creating art. Is it ethical for the artist? I thought that was a pretty good art.
it's a pretty, I guess, hot topic these days with all the AI, machine learned programs that make usually based on prompts, but there are ones that base it on photos or pictures. You can draw a picture, say what it's supposed to be, and then it'll take that picture and turn it into something else, or you can just use words. Here, I made one.
Oh,
I make lots.
I think you sent me an app that does that.
No, I mean I got it.
You put in words and it creates something like the words.
Yeah, exactly.
It's bizarre.
Yeah,
You have to
Yeah.
tell us what you told it. Though.
well, they can see it. podcast people can't see it, but this is some of the stuff you can make with the with.
But you have to say the name of the.
This is Mid Journey we're looking at here, so you can make all kinds of funky stuff. There's Stable Diffusion. There's Mid Journey. There's Dolly. Dolly is kind of a cool one. You can take a picture, put it in there, and then you highlight something and say you want it to be something else, and it just pops it out exactly the same. Yeah, it's pretty cool. They're all good. But do you think it's a threat to the modern day artist?
I think, without a doubt, that they threat. Artists are already undervalued. Harder. I mean, if you only feed it a little bit and it takes it and turns it, I mean, it's a phenomenal thing. It's the future and technology, but you don't want to replace your artist. That's organic.
There's a few things I disagree with. Like this here is made by the machine, right? It's photorealistic picture of a person, right? That's not something somebody just typed in and 5 seconds later they had a thing. It kind of takes time to learn the machines. It's like the machine is kind of like a different brush. It's not this. People act like it's just you type it in and boom. You can do that for memes, I guess. But like to make something like that, what we're looking at here, it that takes kind of like you got to study it, know what words work and don't work, and orders and.
But it makes me wonder, how long would an artist take to do that? Artist rendition.
Well, I think it kind of is scary for artists because now I disagree with you. I think artists now have the best time out of all times in history. You can promote your art to millions, thousands, bajillions of people through Twitter, Instagram, all day, all the time. People buy art more now than ever. People pay to have your profile pictures. People pay for banners on their YouTube or their Twitter or their whatever. People are paying all the time for just simple headshots or make my imaginary character, draw that, or put boobs on this thing. People
but
love
I
that.
guess my point is, why do that when you do have artists that do this? You're going to have an artist at some point in the process creating it, like you're saying, or fixing it. Because I've seen some games advertised in that state of play. Like, who did that?
Well, that's
what child drew that?
That's a opinionated taste in art or something. I think if you're an artist who does stuff like say you draw comic books or something, I don't think you have anything to worry about. If you're the kind of guy who
that picture it looks like something out of a comic book.
But that's not a comic book, and it's not something out of a comic book, and it doesn't look like something out of a comic book. It looks like a poster. It's okay. A difference. It's a difference.
Maybe comic books are different now.
Comic books, you need to tell stories and things. You can't just run in the generator and have it come out the way you want it. Like if there's something where there's a mind's eye for it, then I think the artist still has a foothold there. But if it's something like people just want, like I said, something with boobs or my profile picture is a cartoon.
Why are you devaluing boobs?
I'm not devaluing boobs. I'm just saying people tend not to be as particular with that stuff as they are with other things.
Okay.
So they'll say, I have my imaginary character, yada yada, and I want you to draw them with this. Well, you could do that. You can't do that with AI. An artist does that because no one knows what your yada yada looks like.
This has gone like mainstream. Magazine. They're using.
Oh, I don't see what's wrong with it. I see how it sucks.
I didn't say it's wrong. I just said
it sucks for an artist.
It sucks for an artist. That could have been someone else doing it, getting paid for it. Saying, "Hey, look, Ma, I got this in the Atlantic, and they
But yeah, but it's kind
now
of
it's
like,
hey, look, mom, got this in the computer.
is that a computer
That's an
voice?
AI voice.
To do that again?
Hey, look, Bob. The computer.
I didn't know what the
I'm in
computer
there.
sounded like. I think if you're an artist and you do like, let's say you do political things like that Atlantic article, right? I think the only thing you have to worry about is like, yeah, you wouldn't have that job for doing it on an article or just like a brand. It's very ancillary, but particular things I think you can still do and you will still be able to do.
I think so. I mean, these are all algorithms. You know, it's interesting.
I mean,
It's
the way people
interesting.
draw is an algorithm. It's just personal. It's
These
your own.
progress like exponentially. It's not, artists learn. Well, never mind. I think we're spending a lot of time. We got like 72 word topics to go.
Yeah, but they're not all as interesting.
This is interesting.
I thought you'd have more to say about the interesting things. Not the not interesting.
I vote no.
Anyway,
AI.
after this, I'll show you some of the stuff I made.
All right. Next, Dual Sense Edge controller.
Oh yeah, okay. So back maybe it's gotta be maybe 8 years now. Maybe 6 years. Xbox released their Pro controller, essentially. It's a controller like any other controller, except it's got extra ways to play with it. So maybe an extra lever, different hurt my knee. Different kind of shoulder pads fit different. You can customize it basically. And it looks like now PlayStation comes out with their own DualSense Edge controller, which was revealed last week, 2 weeks ago. A little late now, a little while ago.
One of the interesting things they said is Xbox already had this in the back.
That's what I just said. I told you it was like 6 or 8 years ago.
Yeah. So why was that like news?
Because PlayStation hasn't had. They're proprietary.
Okay, I missed that. I wasn't listening.
Yeah, I figured.
That happens, right?
I can tell. Yeah. Yeah, so PlayStation's finally got theirs. It's gonna have adjustable sticks. You can change the length on the sticks, make them taller, shorter, or I guess you can also change how sensitive.
That's pretty cool.
Extra pads on the back, those kind of things. I didn't see anything about a price. Did you?
Nope.
I'm thinking it'll probably be $100, like the Xbox one. But I think it's about time they did it. It's PlayStation
Sony,
is
catch
the
up.
more popular thing right now, so it's about time they had one. Yeah, I mean it's good for them, I guess. We what number are we on? It would start again.
Round one, fight!
It's been a while. You made me grumpy, so I'm not.
Oh,
on
I'm
the-
sorry.
You grumped me out.
I sure did, because you are.
What's next?
We're like number 7.
Did you
or
see the new
something.
the iPhone?
Huh?
See the new iPhone? No, just in life.
Oh,
in,
in
general.
life.
Yes.
Oh. I know the number 14.
Yeah. Do you see anything different with it?
Probably a camera or something small.
You don't care.
I care.
Yeah, the camera's different.
Yeah, that's usually what changes. Nothing else. It's a phone.
That's not it. It's got a new island thing and
An island?
it's got an island thing.
What's an island thing on the phone?
It's hard to talk about it. It's called like a distinct island or something like that.
And what does it do?
It's this island on your phone that does stuff, widget stuff.
Okay. Sounds like an interesting topic that
So you're not getting the
you
new
know
phone.
nothing about. I am not getting the new iPhone 14. They had some tips and bits on it. If your battery is not charging up, you know how it's plugged in too long,
Huh?
get the battery replaced. 70 to 100
Mm-hmm.
battery replaced. If you're running out of space, clean it up. They showed you how to clear up your apps, and I mean, because the differences over the phones sometimes minuscule. I mean, camera, we got one more lens, or ooh, a few more pixels. Let's pay another 1,000 for that. No.
If I got you a old flip phone, I
Oh,
feel
I
like
love that. I
yeah,
love my flip phone. I had this tiny little. It wasn't even flip. It was push it up. Remember
the
that?
slide phone there.
Yeah, you could hold everything in one hand. You could text. You could drive. You'd have to look at either
You
one.
literally can do that with the phone you have now. You can't drive.
I think that is my entire point, son. I could do that with this new iPhone 13 12 that I have, and I can do it with the old flip phone that I had.
So why don't you
The
use
old
other
flip
stuff?
phone probably cost me
It's not just eggs. That's all you do is play eggs.
$250.
Egg ink. There's other stuff you can do and play. Okay. All right. What else you got on your list? I don't know what order you're on.
You pick one. I picked them all, so I'll catch up.
I don't want you to have to. I don't want you to catch up. I can catch. Just tell me which one's next.
My next one is She-Hulk. We talk about her.
It's not on the list. What do you want to say about She-Hulk?
There was a comment that was made where they said, "All so what is it? So we have a new Me Too. So we have a Me Too now, and all the heroes have gone. All the male heroes have gone. That's
I don't know where you got that from. Tell me about
there
it.
was a topic on here.
I'm looking at it. There's nothing here about that.
Velma wasn't on there.
Velma absolutely was on there. Anyway, what about this She-Hulk thing?
Well, I guess in one of the series episodes, he actually paid some attention to that. Someone put that on Instagram, Twitter, saying that with Me Too now, I guess there are no more male heroes.
Mm-hmm.
And she actually used that on the show. So they were really fascinated by it.
You probably saw that on Kotaku.
Did I?
Probably. That sounds like something they'd write about.
And I didn't think it was really that worthy, but I thought you had posted it.
I didn't put that
so
in.
I thought I better look into it. And I tried with all my might to watch her saying that.
I didn't. I've watched every episode. I think every episode. I haven't.
I'm
seen
like,
it.
I haven't watched any, but I know how to fast forward through. But she didn't say that.
No, I don't know what you were reading.
It's probably one of those made up articles like you were telling me. They're
Probably.
good at it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so that was another topic. That's why I think you need to go.
Okay, but if I say, hey, let's talk about Halo Infinite, how long is it going to take you to look through your notes to find that?
Because you changed the agenda.
I didn't change anything. I added stuff. I didn't change anything. Additions are not changes.
What?
Evolutions.
What? Who do you think you're talking to?
I didn't delete anything.
You're not going to trick
I didn't
me
delete
with that.
anything.
Okay, let's just talk about it. I have nothing to say.
About Halo Infinite? Okay, well, what number should we be on?
Round
Oh, God.
Fight!
Halo Infinite is kind of going downhill. It's been months and months since they promised they'd release the couch co-op, and it hasn't released, and it looks like it's not going to happen. So split screen is officially something they're not working on anymore, and a lot of Halo fans are upset. Split screen in Halo is a classic Halo thing. It was supposed to launch with it. It didn't. Then they said it was going to come, and now they said it won't. And now that it's canceled, fans are kind of left with nothing to do in the game. Of course, there's multiplayer, which seems kind of limp and not doing much. It's very old style of multiplayer, and people are mostly just glitching and hacking the game. But it seems like a really old franchise, which has been kind of the definitive one for Xbox, is really dying off. There's nothing about Halo that kind of surviving into 2022. Do you find your note yet?
I turned the page and everything.
It was literally the first thing I put in the.
I had something about
Uh-huh.
Gotham Knights.
Okay, let's talk about that then. Okay, let's talk about Gotham Knights October release. What do we say? What do we have about what's been said about Gotham Knights?
Well,
Because I don't have that on my list either.
yeah, I didn't like make this up.
Oh yeah, here it is. Sorry, it's here. It's here.
Okay. So in this version of the game, Batman's dead, and the heroes are Robin, Nightwing,
Batgirl.
and Red Hood.
Uh huh. You
So-
know these all very familiar. You're very familiar with all
So
these characters.
it looks exciting, you know. It looks like it's gonna be fun.
Did you watch the videos?
Like 2 weeks ago?
Okay. Okay. Don't get angry at me. I wasn't sick
Okay,
or on vacation.
I was, but it seemed like a good game. I gave it a check mark. So at the time, what?
Why don't you just play them? I think it's out like next week.
Well, I'll be playing
No,
it.
no.
October
Next month.
21st.
Next month.
Have the release date.
Are you gonna play it?
Yes. And I can't wait till we get to gameplay because there's one I want to play there too.
Till we get to what?
Gameplay.
Gameplay? What's that?
State of game.
Oh, state of play.
State of play.
Well, what? Okay, hey, there you go. What do you want to? What's in the
And
state of
3
play?
times 1. What is it? 3!
That's kind of scattershot.
All right. We got to hurry up. The light's fading. Let's see. God of War Ragnarok.
Mm-hmm.
I gave it 5 stars. It comes out November 9th. It is like the graphics.
Yeah, it does look pretty good.
He did this really cool thing in the trailer. I did.
We can play the one before it too. We can play all of them. I have all of.
Like this one.
Okay.
Okay.
Go ahead. Just whatever.
Maybe
In the trailer.
to lead up to it, right?
Yeah, in the trailer.
So in the trailer, there's this kid, right? But everyone is really well done. That's in this yeah, it is. So they're going somewhere, doing something, and protector.
Just keep going.
The protector,
The guy with the white skin and
the
the
big
red-
giant guy,
and the red, yeah, Kratos.
Kratos. Well, he had black hair. This one,
Oh, okay, that's not Kratos.
and he protects this kid person, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the kid person is somehow trying to protect him. He's protector. So they get to this certain point. I think they've been in a fight or they're on their way to a fight, and there's an eclipse.
Hmm.
And it was a very well done eclipse. That is neat. And so he takes an arrow to shoot the eclipse, which of course my logical brain is going, this kid an idiot. But then I tell myself, it's a game, it's a game, it's a game. So the kid shoots the arrow, hits the eclipse, and the sun falls down, and the sky rips open, and there's a whole other reality. It was badass.
I'm
that.
excited for that game. I know
Yeah.
I know a producer on that game. Yeah, we worked in Eon together.
That's cool. That is a great game.
We can play the ones before.
And if he's
you-
listening,
it's a
D,
she.
oh, even better. Hey,
Don't be
guys.
sexist now.
Even better.
I'm just saying.
Great game. You did a great job producing that.
Okay.
Because I'm gonna like it whether I like it or not.
Well, we'll play the one. We'll play the one before. You don't have to play the old ones. We'll play the one before.
Yeah, there
And
was
you
a
can-
god killer in here or something.
Yeah,
Okay.
we can play them all. I could literally beat
You
one
have
a
the
day.
Ragnarok games? Are they really
God-
good graphics?
God of War.
God
There's-
of War.
Yeah.
I had that written down.
So the original ones at the time, they were, I think the first God of War was in 2006 or something. Or, yeah, 2006 or they're old. The first ones. I think if you start at 3, which 3 is still a okay looking game today, and it's the end of the first trilogy. It's basically about a man who, he's a Spartan warrior, and
I am Spartan.
he was voiced initially by Phil Lamar, I think. You know Phil Lamar, UPS guy on Mad TV.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
I love him.
Or the guy in in Pulp Fiction gets shot in the back of the car. Volta and Samuel L. Jackson are driving
Oh,
the
yeah,
plane
they
with the
shoot
gun
the
and
guy,
shooting.
yeah.
That same guy. So initially in this thing, he's a Spartan. He sacrifices. He's dying in a war. He sacrifices his life to the god of war so he can live. And then it's kind of his story. It's like a Greek and mythology kind of thing. And then
That almost sounds like that thing I saw.
yeah, but it's really cool because the first, I think there are really 6 or 7 first games, right? Yeah, because of PSP games. But the first 3, like the
Okay.
first trilogy, it's all Greek mythology.
That's cool.
All right, it's Greek mythology. But the newer games, it's Norse mythology, so it kind of changes it up. It's real fun.
Personas.
Okay. All right. Well, I'm glad you like that one.
Where's
I'll
that
be playing
damn fourth Chaos Emerald?
for sure. We're gonna tie Gotham Knights and God of War into one
There
thing.
you go.
Did you see the Lies of P trailer?
Yes. Lie or truth?
What'd you think of
Lies
that?
of P. Lie
Lies
or
of-
truth?
It's a Pinocchio inspired.
Right. Whether he
action
tells
game.
it a lie or it's a truth. That's what my note meant.
Okay.
Yeah, that
Um,
was pretty interesting.
I think it's interesting. It kind of seems silly, the whole Pinocchio thing.
Am I on the right episode 102?
Yeah.
What's that one called?
New Lies of P
New
trailer.
Lies of P. Oh,
Yeah. It seems people are comparing it to another game, Bloodborne. I kind of get it, like the imagery, kind of, a little bit is Bloodborne. It's a little clean for that, but I think it looks interesting. You never know about action games until you play them, though, and see how they feel. They can look like trash and play great, like the first Neo or something, or they can look great and play like trash, like there's an anime Dark Souls game. I can't think of the name right now, but it was really bad to me. So
well, they
but
didn't have Jiminy Cricket in here.
I think they did have Jiminy.
They just had like a voice in it.
Yeah. But I think Jiminy is in it.
Silent homage to Jim.
Yeah,
I think if they
Jiminy.
just throw a little cricket in there, that would have been like.
I don't know why they chose the story of Pinocchio to go with.
I don't know, but
I
it's
don't
cool
see-
that they did.
It's interesting.
Yeah.
It's interesting. It's
Different. A little
marketing is
twist.
smart, I guess, because everyone will be looking for certain things happening, like Geppetto and all that junk. But we'll see. I'm not like super convinced yet. It looks interesting, but like I said, I gotta touch it. You have to actually play them first. Anything? Your turn. Any one of these?
Oh, I thought I brought one up.
Well, you didn't say much. Got it.
Last of
Ho,
Us.
ho, ho!
remake.
I've got 5 good reasons for you to shut up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Last of Us Part 1.
Last of Us is a remake, right?
It's a yeah, it's a remake. Yeah.
Looks good.
All right, mom
That's
says
all
looks
I
good.
got.
Shrug shoulder. That's all she's
It
got.
does. I'll tell you if it doesn't now. But it looks good.
I think I bought it. If you want to play it, we started the old one. Remember, you, me, and Kalana, I was playing, and you guys were watching
What was it?
Last of Us. And the guy, he was with his daughter.
It's
and then
scary.
yeah, it's scary, but they remade it. So
Is it
looks-
scary still?
Yes, it's
More scary.
exactly the same, which is what people are
Okay,
upset about.
but let me tell you something. If you're trying to interest, you have to do it in a different manner.
What do you
right?
mean? Different from what?
Studio audience, I'm going to tell you. Or not in the studio audience?
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Listen up,
This
guys.
is how
Here we
he
go.
introduced this game to us. He has us come in, sit around the table while he's playing the game on the big screen TV
Yeah, that's what we did.
at night.
Yes,
It's
it was
dark.
it's a scary game. It's a suspense game. Yeah,
Dark. We could have done that in the morning.
but you enjoyed
could
it.
have
You
done it
didn't
in the
forget it.
afternoon.
You didn't forget that game,
No,
did you?
because I'm terrified.
Yeah, exactly.
That's the music I'm hearing in my sleep. I thought it was Chevy Bros. It was terrifying. Especially because you don't want anybody crashing through your doors and all that stuff. That was terrifying.
Yeah, well, that's the game they remade to make it look
Even
the
more
reason
terrifying.
The reason they remade it, okay, is because there's an HBO TV show coming out, which is basically the plot of the game. So they remade it for new interest in that.
I can see that.
However, I think a lot of people are upset that it's the exact same game. They feel like it's too early to remake the game, which technically doesn't make sense because the game came out. When we look at other stuff that we remake, it makes sense. Last of Us Part 1, release date. 2013. So it's been 9 years. We've had other things remade and remastered in less time. I don't agree that we need this remade, but I don't see the big problem. Also, came out in 2013, like 4 or 5 months before the PlayStation 4 released. So this game came out on PlayStation 3 originally. We're on PlayStation 5. It came out right at the end of PlayStation 3. On PlayStation 4, they did a remaster, so it's like the same game but just up and right. So I don't think the remake is as egregious as people say it is.
They just want something to
yeah.
talk about.
Well, a lot of people are kind of they're boycotting it, and so what people do these days when they're not interested or don't like something, they go like full tilt, 100% into it. So it's not like, oh, I don't like it, I'm not gonna buy it. It's like, I don't like it, I'm not gonna buy
I'm
it.
going to tell everybody.
I'm gonna tell everyone. I'm gonna tweet about it 10 times a day. I'm gonna get screenshots and do a thing, and I'm gonna make
Destroy
memes.
them.
It's like, it's you know how things are these
That's
days.
so sad.
Yes, we live
Remember
in
that
society.
saying, if you have nothing nice to say, don't say it.
Yeah, tweet. If you have nothing nice to say, don't say anything at
Don't
all.
tweet.
Just go tweet or post on Reddit. Yeah, so that's essentially what's happening with
So
that
is
game.
that why they named it Tweet? Because of little birds?
Yeah, because birds tweet. Yeah, and you hear them tweeting all around.
And
you.
what do you
If
usually
listen-
say? Would those birds shut the hell up? Yeah, it makes sense. They
Yeah,
named
sure.
it appropriately.
Sure. I hope you don't start using Twitter more because I can imagine your tweets.
They deserve me.
Okay. Well,
You
the last
see my tweets.
I have seen your tweets. I usually when mom tweets, I have to tell her, please delete that. That's gonna bring so much trouble down upon your head, the family's crest. Stop it. Please don't tweet that. And she'll tweet it and then have to just block it. Now you can tweet just to certain people. You can tweet and only certain people can read it.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Okay, I will do that when I
But
figure out how to
don't
do
that because only me and Biko follow you.
That's okay.
You can just tell us.
Just text you, right?
Yeah, you have to tweet it. You just text us.
I don't care about that stuff. I don't even know why I tweet.
Yeah, please.
You can get really caught up in that stuff, just looking at all the subject matter.
I read lots of tweets, but I'd say if I write a tweet, if I write 10 tweets, 3 of those 10 times, I got to get ready for like
a barrage of crap coming on you.
Well, that's going to happen 8 out of 10 times. But 3 out of 10 times, I got to get ready to fight the race wars. That's just how it works on Twitter. And
I don't know why you don't like me to
easy.
tweet. When I tweet, people agree with me. I get like 3 or 4
until
hearts.
until they don't. And look, I wouldn't mind you tweeting and getting out, but you have to have the mindset to get people talking trash at you. It's like, okay.
Is that the objective?
No. It's one thing to have someone like talk trash at you at work or at the bar or something like that. It's face to face, and you gotta do something about it. There's like when somebody makes a statement like that. I don't know. Maybe it's a man thing. It's an understanding of violence. Like you've already said, it may be, but it's true. Somebody says something like they say on Twitter in your face. You know where the options are. Somebody says it on Twitter, people get really butthurt and mad because you can't do anything.
You can't.
These people are somewhere else.
Yeah.
They got the profile picture is not a real person.
They can block you.
They not only can they block you, they can stalk you and keep going after you. I had a guy stalk me through Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, everything. He's make different profiles and send me messages. They get really angry at you. And you can't do anything. I mean, you can talk back to them, I guess, but there's no like. Usually, I think most humans, the end of the line, and like before this, you only talk to people in person, and then telephones came. But then if somebody's calling you, you know where they live. Now it's out of there. So
They should just call it cowardice.
Get in a fight with some people and then feel really upset and tense because you can't do anything.
Okay, I'll stay off Twitter.
You can get on there. Just
I don't
tweet me,
care.
okay?
I don't care what those people. I don't care if they know what I think. They can listen to Chevy Bros if they want to know what I think.
Don't forget the super, okay? That's
Super
kind of
Chevy
almost
Bros.
blasphemous here.
It wasn't an advertisement. It was just kind of short.
No, not 6. I said 7. Nobody's coming up with 6. Who works out in 6 minutes? You won't even get your heart going, not even a mouse on a wheel.
Okay, I'll admit. Super
Okay.
Chevy Bros.
There we go.
That is
Dead
nice.
Island 2. It's a new trailer.
What is it?
Dead Island 2 gets a new trailer after 8 years of silence. 8 years of nothing. 8 years of no news. The game is finally coming out, and it's coming out in, I think, February. Which is very soon, especially for a game which I think most people assumed was just dead. The original Dead Island was released in 2000. Is that a PlayStation 3?
14.
No, the first trailer for Dead Island 2 was 2014. The original game, I don't remember when it came out. I'm sorry, but it was made by Deep Silver, and then they moved on to make Dead by Daylight, a different. Is that the name of that? Not Dead by Daylight. The one where you run around the city doing parkour. It's essentially the same game, but this one was abandoned, and now it's back, and it's going to be an RPG like the last one, multiplayer. I think 3-player co-op, like the last one. Essentially, you walk around the city, bash zombies' heads in. Did you see the trailer?
Yeah, I did. I'm just trying to.
It's got the Broham in it. So I'm excited. I've been wanting this game to come out. I feel like their trailers are the best. We'll look at the trailers after
Okay.
the show. They have they have really good trailers.
Yeah, I remember this was a good.
The 2014 one was a good trailer, and the one that came out maybe 2010 or 11 was also a very good trailer for the first game.
Okay.
So
Do
I'm
you
excited
have these
for
games?
I've got Dead Island 1 and the expansion. Dead Island 2 is not out yet. Like I said, it's out in February. You're right. February 3rd. Which is very soon. I hope it's a good game. I do. Because
There's
they
a
were
lot
so.
of stuff coming.
Yeah, so the way games these days typically work, all the releases are in September, October, November, maybe a couple in December. Then you have January, February, March, and April are really heavy. May, June, July is almost nothing. Summertime, almost nothing. I don't know why. When, especially in America, all the kids are out in the summer. You think, I don't know why, but no, the games really don't release in the summer. Yeah, everything is spring, winter, fall. Well, did you have any particular topic you wanted to talk about before we close it out? Because I think we're a little rusty.
Yeah. Topics have been sitting there.
And yeah,
I'm rusty on those. But I'm not rusty on state of play. Is that
okay,
it?
yeah. Let's talk about the state of play. What else did you see besides God of War at the state of play?
I saw a lot of things. I didn't say I liked them. Okay, so this is how it went. I loved the first one and the last one, Tekken.
Tekken 8? Yeah. I thought Tekken looked great.
It looked fantastic.
Yeah, Tekken 7 came out when I was in Japan before the PlayStation. It's kind of a PlayStation 3 game, but it released on PlayStation 4. So they were making it before the 4 came out. So I guess it's almost 9 years old now. Tekken 7.
But they made it look really good.
Tekken 8 looks great, yeah.
And I didn't write a lot of notes except because I really, really liked it. I liked the way it looked. I liked the way they moved. I liked what I saw was happening. What happened was, this is what happened. You sent me the link and said,
Watch it.
there you go. And so I turn it on and I mirror it on my TV so that I can watch it big.
You know you have a YouTube app on the TV.
That's a whole nother story.
Okay.
Okay?
Okay.
I mirrored it on the TV and I started watching and it said 2 hours and 58 minutes countdown.
Oh, don't tell me you didn't
No,
fast
wait,
forward.
wait. And then I'm like, this was already done and I could just watch it. So I started reading comments. And they're like, they made us wait 2 hours and 58 minutes to see 6 little clips. So I just fast forwarded to 3:01, which I should have taken it back to 2:59, and then I would have seen Tekken because I did not see Tekken.
Why didn't you just fast forward to the timer was at like 5 seconds left?
When Panda is. The first thing I saw was the Star Wars Galaxy Edge. And I'm like, oh, they're starting with Star Wars.
Oh, the VR game.
But then I backed up.
Okay.
And then
Okay.
they said we have VR 2 games coming, right? So then we went into the Galaxy. That was interesting. It looked good.
Yeah, and when you're playing it in VR, it's more.
It's better.
You're supposed to be like in there. I'm gonna get the VR when it comes out.
Virtual reality. Yeah. I just want to do virtual reality and do other stuff.
What do you mean?
Like, can't you like travel, take adventures?
Yeah.
That's what I want to do. I want the VR. Do I have to buy a PlayStation?
No, so if you walk into Costco right now, they have a $300 VR right there in front. It's been there for like 6 months. Yeah.
Well, remember when you were a kid we go to Disney World and we get those glasses. And
Yeah,
then you
yeah.
put the little reel in there and go. I imagine it's kind of like that.
No, it is not like
Is
that.
that is it better?
It's very immersive, and I think really depending on your, I think for most people, VR in general, whatever works. But for some people, depending on like their eyes and their brain chemistry and like their perception, sometimes it does small stuff like makes you dizzy or woozy. But other people like either it just gives them panic attacks or what. It's
I
just
can
real
see how
strange.
that
So,
can happen.
yeah. So be a normal person and enjoy it.
There's another VR game, Dimco.
Yeah, I saw that too. Did you see?
I
Were
didn't
any of
like
the
it
VRs
much.
interesting to you? I think for you and
Dimco
most
less.
people, you need to play either a VR game that is very cute and fun,
Yeah.
or horror.
What's the cute part? Is that like a dig at me being?
No,
cute.
no. Because it's easy. It's just more. Well, there are lots of kind of VR. There's like Star Wars VR games, but
Okay.
I think you really have to be really. Oh, I really want to hold a lightsaber or shoot a thing to enjoy that. Or there's the Horizon Zero Dawn one coming up. I think you really have to be into Horizon Zero Dawn to enjoy that.
I didn't like that.
If you're not
Dimco.
really into anything in particular, I think what you play has to be real cute. You interact with it like a cat or a dog or something. It feels cute, or it has to be horror where
When it
you
has a dog and a cat felt cute.
puppies,
Oh, come on.
kittens.
Okay. So you're saying don't play a game.
No. There are games that are cute. Like there's I think it's like Job Simulator or something, and it's a robot teaching you how to do jobs, but it's like a comedy thing, and
And
you
that's
got it.
cute.
Or the surgeon. There's one where you're a surgeon. You have to do surgeries, but you just got the controllers. And
cool.
letting people open. But it's kind of cute and funsy kind of stuff.
Okay, funsy. We stick with that word.
What's wrong with cute?
Do you do cute?
Yes, I do cute all the time.
Okay, as long as you're doing cute.
Oh, so this is a sexist thing then?
I'm trying to make sure it's not because I'm worried about your son.
Or horror. You gotta do horror.
Horror. Okay.
What do you think I said before? You do
I
horrors
worry
and
about you,
guys?
son. All right, let's move on because my eyes will not stand this.
Seven's the
light.
key number here. Think
This is the
about
last
it.
one 'cause I don't have any other
7
buttons.
Yeah. 7 dwarfs. 7, man, that's the number. 7 chipmunks twirling on a branch, eating lots of sunflowers
all
on
right,
my
so-
uncle's ranch. You know that old children's tale from the sea? It's like you're dreaming about gorgonzola cheese when it's clearly brie time, baby.
Okay.
Step into my office.
Why?
Because you're fucking fired.
Okay, so there were several more Japanese games. Is it Ishin?
Yeah, Ishin. Ishin.
That was interesting, but kind of like
Very boring game.
boring. Yeah,
I played it in Japan.
Did you?
Before it came. That game came out like 10
What's
years
the
ago.
deal
now.
with like? Is that the right one? It's like if I can't slay you with my blade, I'll shoot you.
Yeah, so
What is that?
The series is called Yakuza, right? And they do it's usually modern and it's usually modern and you're usually a Yakuza member, a gangster in modern Japan or like the 80s
I knew
or
what that
whatever
was.
it is. But this one's about Sakamoto Ryoma, which is kind of, if in Japanese history kind of thing. It's like a guy where some of the things they say about him, was it him or was it like 4 guys who did it or 2 guys? And so the game kind of takes those things we say he did and It puts it into a guy, and this is that guy, right?
Okay.
And then, they have photos of him. The game's boring.
It
It's
looks
not as fun
boring.
as the other ones. You have to do lots of lame stuff just to get the. You have to progress the story for
Okay.
other things to open up and do. It's so boring.
Well, there was another Japanese game.
Yeah, I saw that.
It looked. That was the only word I could come up with. There
Simple
was
how?
a couple of PS5 exclusives.
Right.
Oh, it was a Japanese game.
Uh huh.
Stetter Blade? Is that it? Stetter Blade? That's the name of it. But it was so like, I think they focused more on drawing girls with the moving boobs and long flowing hair. Her hair was like four
I remember
times longer
Sensuality.
than
Stellar
she was.
Blade.
Stellar Blade.
Stellar Blade. Okay.
Oh, I thought it was Stetter. It's the way they crossed it.
The way they crossed the thing. Yeah, I know. I thought it was too.
Yeah, but I mean, they drew the girls really cute and sexy and all that, but I didn't see much.
So that's
And this
what
guy, the old guy who was talking, do you remember him? And he had this long booger thing. What was that? It was like a.
Yeah, it's a Japanese thing.
What was that?
The booger.
Is it really?
Yeah.
I was right?
What did you think it was?
I didn't know.
Well, let me look at it again. It's a booger.
Because at first I'm like, oh, is that his hair? And it's like, no, it's like in his nose.
Yeah, it's
What is that?
the hair or a tube, maybe.
You see what I mean?
Yeah, he's tubed up. It's probably a tube.
Why?
Up the nose. He looks like he's mechanical.
Okay.
Yeah. I get what you're saying. Yeah.
Yeah, it was just bizarre. I'm like, all this great graphics and drawing, and then you have this. Team Ninja, Rise of the Ronin.
Yeah, I'm looking for. I like Team Ninja games.
Yeah,
even
that
the
looked
ones-
good.
Yeah.
But it's
it
not
looks
coming
interesting.
out till 2020. Of
That's fine.
course, God's. That's it.
Okay. All right. Well, hey, there's Keyless. He's in there.
No, sir.
Yeah. Thanks for
Hey!
listening. Well, I guess that's it.
All right.
We've hit all the topics. Next week we won't be as rusty.
Nor will we have 27 topics.
Yeah, Rise of the Ronin does look promising.
I'm excited.
I hope they. I read about it. It's a little less like Neo than Neo, so but it's supposed to still be very action focused. I'm thinking more, maybe fewer enemies. Devil May Cry-ish is what it looks like, but you don't know what any of that is anyway.
I do. I know Devil May Cry-ish.
Do?
It did have the ish on it.
Okay, we'll play that too.
Yeah.
I got them all.
I watched you play that.
Yeah, you did. Yeah. Well, thanks for listening to the show.
Thank you. That was fun. We're like rusty. We've
Yeah.
been out for a while.
Sure. Thanks for listening to the show. I forgot to hit record again.
Huh? You forgot to record it again?
No, I had to close the thing down and I didn't hit the button. It's okay. I got it. It's recording on the other thing. It's fine. Thanks for listening to the show. This has been the Super Chevy Brothers podcast. We are signing off. You can catch us on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, all at Super Chevy Bros. On Twitter, it's Super Chevy Bro. The guy with Super Chevy Bros won't give it up. So there's no S at the end on Twitter. You also join the Discord where the chat is in the Discord. And you can chat with us in the Discord. Discord's always going on. You can find the Discord link on Twitter and in our Instagram through the link tree. And I'll be streaming later on this week. I've got more toys to open. I got a lot of figures to open.
Can I
so
open
many.
figures? Is that you?
Next, you want to come and open
You
figures?
hesitated.
No, I didn't know you were interested.
It was like,
If you want to come open them with me, absolutely.
I like playing with dolls.
We're gonna open some figures. I've got the, if this is of interest to anyone, I've got the Mezco Wolverine, which is,
I've seen that.
you have? Okay, got the Mezco Wolverine. I have a bunch of the Spider-Man. So this is Spider-Man's 60th anniversary. So there are lots of Spider-Man figures released. So we'll be opening a bunch of those. Kind of mystery boxing it because I got so many boxes they all got to open anyway. I literally have like 20 boxes at the front door.
That is so sad.
And I think we're gonna customize a few things too. Like put a few capes on a couple of guys with plastic capes. So thanks for stopping by. It's been a great show. Next week it'll be different. We'll be back on. Mom's gonna hopefully play a game. See, look at that. Yeah, all right. Thanks for listening. It's been a good time. We'll see you guys
See
next
ya.
time.